Buongiorno a tutti, sono Sauro Cesaretti, vi presento Rafael Minuesa che diciamo, ha collaborato con me in diversi progetti, ormai dal 2009 ci conosciamo e abbiamo discusso tante volte sull'evoluzione di internet, di tutto ciò che gira intorno a internet e l'accessibilità. Lui fra le righe dice: sono uno sviluppatore web un po' diciamo deluso sotto certi aspetti per le quantità di informazione e soprattutto la complessità a volte dei siti web, anche siti che magari potrebbero essere realizzati in maniera molto più semplice, siti di notizie, siti web che permettono per esempio di fruire di informazioni in ambito accademico, di ricerca, dove l'informazione testuale è quella diciamo più importante, l'informazione essenziale, e magari per navigare all'interno di questi siti ti trovi ad affrontare una struttura di un sito web estremamente complessa. E questo cosa c'entra con l'accessibilità? Diciamo che dagli inizi, da quando io ho iniziato a utilizzare internet con terminali testuali, fondamentalmente la navigazione web era basata tutta esclusivamente su informazioni diciamo di tipo, contenuti di tipo testuale, non c'erano contenuti dinamici, la navigazione era strettamente legata al cercare un'informazione, una notizia. Ovviamente la complessità dei siti web e soprattutto dell'integrazione di applicazioni web all'interno dei siti web ha fatto sì che ovviamente abbiamo a disposizione più diciamo, soluzioni più complesse, ma a volte anche dove non è strettamente necessario. E quindi Rafael vi presenterà un protocollo che diciamo, esiste dagli albori di internet, ma è stato un po' dimenticato. Attualmente sta ritornando in voga abbastanza, soprattutto in ambito accademico-scientifico, per reperire informazioni prevalentemente di tipo di ricerca e di tipo testuale.
Okay, so I'm a web developer and so I know about all the latest technologies. This is not just trying to go back to the early, to the prehistoric beginnings of the internet, but rather to find an alternative to the web. The web is fine. It's fine to have Facebook. It's fine to have all kinds of multimedia content, but for a person with accessibility issues, which is what we are creating this event about, all this makes no sense. What they want to get is the content, and in the easiest way possible. Not they don't have to deal with the pop-ups and advertising and whatnot. So I was doing some research, and then I came across Gopher, and I thought that this is like perfect for accessibility for screen readers. And I asked Sauro to test it, and yeah, he told me that it was very, very interesting from a screen reader point of view. So we are trying, and we investigated more, and we are trying to promote this a little bit to see. Many people around the world are rediscovering Gopher right now. There's a website which is called Gopherpedia, which uses an API to pull the content from Wikipedia. There's also a search engine based on the old Alta Vista. So there's many people involved in this right now. Okay, this is what I was explaining, that there's another way of surfing the internet, because we have to make a difference between what is the internet and what is the web. People think they're the same thing, but it's different things. Internet is, you can access the internet using the web, or you can use other protocols, like Gopher in this case. If you go, there were other early attempts to organize distributed data, like a Hyper-G, which is an Austrian startup and ways that Sauro knows about. I don't know about that one. And this is some slides when it was presented on the first time that Gopher was presented to the public. Gopher was very strong at the beginning, before the web. For 3 years was the leader. And it was presented as a distributed document search and retrieval protocol that you use for browsing through hierarchical collections of menus. Menus are all structured in the same way, which makes it very easy for people with accessibility problems to navigate. Okay, you know what to expect. You know you're going to a page from a link into another page, and you know that it's going to be the same structure. So if you're using a screen reader, that's perfect, and that's why I think this is a very interesting protocol for accessibility. Yes.
Because most of the time the difficult aspect, for example, for people that are totally blind, is that when you open a website, at the first time you have to like tour around, let's say, to understand what you are surfing, more or less. There are all kind of shortcuts that will that helps you to move right away in blocks of the pages, and if the pages is properly designed, those things are very easy. But as Rafael said, if you know already what you expect, okay, the surf is really easier. I would like just to add something that okay, we tried to do some kind of test, and at the moment, yeah, the solution. We have to distinguish, like, the solution is really nice after the core, but the problem is that there are still not many paradigm implemented in the screen readers, obviously because it's not very, I mean, it's kind of not very famous at the moment, but would be nice to implement some, for example, in NVDA, that is an open source screen reader, some paradigm on the browsers that implements Gopher.
Yeah, well, we have Gopher a specific browser that we were thinking of creating ourselves using some code open source. So we, okay, so Gopher essentially is an easy way to organize and publish resources on the internet, much easier. So it's good for universities, it's good for scientific environments. It's not good for Facebook, obviously. It's not good for Amazon. It's just good for getting pure content. Sometimes you just want to get the content. You don't want to share, you don't want to watch a video, you just want to read the content, right? So that's a perfect protocol for that, where you can access all kinds of universities as long as you have a server. We will see the server thing that is very easy to set up as well. This is simplicity, basically. So how it was born? In 1991 in the University of Minnesota, they created this protocol, this way of distributing content between the students there. And the design of the system was such that the server load was very, very low. You can use an old computer, a 486, and create a server. So and that's really, these days that sounds like an impossibility, but that's how it works. And it's not focused in appearance at all, it's just focused on organization. How do you structure the pages? So how does Gopher work? Gopher is a client distributed server system that works in a similar way as the World Wide Web protocol does, in the way that the client opens a TCP connection and sends a request to the server. The server returns a list of items of the contents of that page, and once it's done with that, which is very, very fast, closes the connection, because there's no more interaction needed between client and server. You get the content very fast because it's text, and this list of items that you were telling me that is like a list, like an order list.
Yeah.
Links to objects on other servers. Then the client can contact directly. So you just link into it. It's very, very simple. It's like a screen reader dream come true. This is a quote from a Cloudflare developer, Ben Cox. He's working Gopher. This is the CDN we are using for our website. It's a content delivery. It's very, very high technology, and one of the developers he likes Gopher, even though he's working in Cloudflare. And what he says is that unlike HTTP and HTTP2, where there are lots of all rules that we know about, like you have to follow, Gopher has very few rules, and most of them involve the logic behind serving directory pages, and not the content itself. So the logic is focused on the structure of the pages, the logic of Gopher. And that's why this guy likes it so much, even though he's working for Gopher and he has to deal with all kinds of weird things involving the HTTP and HTTP2 protocols. He found Gopher as well. When you discover Gopher, it's like, wow, what is this? How come this is not more popular? And this is the guy who created the search engine for Gopher. There's no Google in Gopher. There's Alta Vista, no version. But they remade it just for the Gopher protocol. So what happened to Gopher? That's the question. So why this is so useful? Why it isn't popular now? Well, first, with the release of Mosaic, I don't know if you remember Mosaic, it was the first browser, graphical browser, a very, very long time ago. People, most of the people like the fact that you could see images, and you could see all kinds of content on the page, and that shifted most of the people towards the World Wide Web. But the real reason for Gopher to not succeed is that the University of Minnesota, the moment they saw how popular, because Gopher was the main protocol during 3 years, more than the World Wide Web, was the most popular protocol for accessing the internet. The moment the University of Minnesota saw that they could make some money out of it, they tried asking for a license fee, very, very expensive license fee for people, companies that wanted to use the Gopher protocol. And this happened at the same time that the World Wide Web was being born and being promoted, and since the World Wide Web was free, and this was very, very expensive, so that eventually killed it completely. It was, so everybody migrated to the web, and Gopher, they realized they made a big mistake, but by the time they realized they tried to make it free, it was 1997, and it was game over. There was no way they could recover people, because the web offers so many resources that most of the people want. But Gopher is still alive, and there's a couple of projects that prove that this is still alive, like Gopherpedia, which is the Gopher version of Wikipedia, and the search engine version of Alta Vista that I talked about. This is what Gopherpedia looks like. It's a text version of Wikipedia.
And is it Rafael, right? Is it is it connected with the database of Wikipedia?
Yeah,
right?
so,
the contents are always updated in both.
It's the same. The contents are exactly the same.
Okay.
Before the guy, this is programming in C actually, in pure C, and the programmer first tried downloading the pages, and then, but that was like a big, very heavy for the server, and Also, you didn't update automatically because Wikipedia is being constantly updated, and it's not a good solution. And then he discovered that Wikipedia had an API that you can get the content from. So that's what it is. It's Wikipedia, but with the content displayed on Gopher. And this is the Gopher PDF, the Gopher Vista. Okay, this is Alta Vista. They call it Gopher Vista. So you have a search engine that you can use from the web. You don't have to use Gopher to see what kind of content can you find in Gopher. There's a few hundred servers around the world, and there's quite a lot of content there. Mostly interesting content. You're not going to find things, many blogs and stuff like that, but scientific and things like that. So how is Gopher a good accessible alternative? It is good for accessibility because it makes, of all the chaos that you find in the World Wide Web, it makes a structure out of that. So within Gopher sphere, all Gophers work in the same way. Similar menus and interface layouts. You know what to expect. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to waste time trying to figure out where the menus are, what this page displays. All that is, you cannot change that. It's not that you don't have the option to change that. You have to make the page that way. So the moment you know one page or one Gopher page, the rest are all the same. So I think this is very good for accessibility. And creating content is also very, very easy. Compared to creating a page on HTML, it's really very, very easy. So we have, so you focus, once you get rid of all these things, obviously you focus on the content. Because nowadays, as a developer, I know that you can create really nice websites with no content at all. It looks perfect, but then it's empty. Yeah. And that's my problem with many clients. They say, make me a website. Okay, I make a website. Now, give me the content. No. Sometimes it only gives you the address, the contact. Oh, where's your company? They give you nothing. So you have a website there, very nice, but no content. So that's, with Gopher, it's the other way around. If there's no content, there's no page. Okay? In the web, you can create a page without content. In Gopher, no, because it's only content. So I like that. Maybe I'm a bit tired of the web. That's why I like this so much. And users navigate the Gopher page in the same way. They navigated the one they came from. That's saving in time and saving in headaches and trying to figure out things. So if you are interested, you can. We are going to set up a server. We were going to set up a server here, but at the end we didn't have the resources. There's a Gopher server called GoFish. If you have an old computer home and you want to try, it's very easy to set. You just install it. You just run one command line, and the Gopher works. You don't need to do anything else. You can configure it, obviously, and now we can try to use the SeaMonkey so they can see. Let me see if it works.
All the screen reader.
With the screen reader, yeah.
I
have it.
Show that okay.
Let me start.
The simplicity, and as I said, the most important thing is that there is not still so many implementation to, the integration between the screen reader. In this case, we are going to use NVDA and the browser, SeaMonkey. That actually is a kind of version of
it's Mozilla.
Mozilla.
Yeah, it's Mozilla.
Derivation of
Mozilla engine, but the extension that because Gopher access the internet on port 70 instead of port 80, so you need a specific browser, not Chrome. Firefox, they used to support Gopher, but not anymore. There's no money in it, so they're not.
Also, you can use kind of extensions, right? Probably that they will do something like a
Yeah.
proxy. They will.
Well, no, that's a proxy. That's not an extension. That's a proxy.
Oh, okay, okay.
That means you can, yeah, you can access. I should have mentioned that you can access the Gopher sphere. That's what they call it, through a proxy. If you Google Gopher proxy, then you will find a way to navigate the pages. But you tried that, and it wasn't very.
No, it was not.
Because it's
it
like
was
an
worse
iframe.
than
Yeah.
the Simonki.
Yeah, because it's an iframe kind of thing. Okay, let's try the Simonki portable. We haven't tried this. And let's see how. But we don't have the internet here. You don't know. Wait, I'm connecting to the.
Intanto c'è qualcuno che ha qualche domanda, qualche curiosità?
I have one question. One is a curiosity, and another one is related to the Gopher things is not related with the Go languages, right?
It's not related to.
Go languages.
No, but they appropriate the name for the like the word count.
Yeah. Okay.
There used to be a Gopher thing, and they call it Gopher. What they call it?
Gopher something. Yeah.
Gopher something.
Yeah. Okay.
But there used to be a Gopher thing, and now it's a Go. You know the programming language.
Yeah, the
Go.
programming language from Google, no? That
Yeah.
Go.
Like they don't care. It's, Gopher is dead, so we just take the name. And we just, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just to be sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are like a company that are working on both like World Wide Web and Gopher with these two kind of approach in order to like provide the same information to, for instance, you made an example on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So like there is the same database that two different approach.
Yeah.
There is something other example like that.
I cannot think of any. I'm sure there is, but that's the most
Important one.
important one. That's done using the API, so it connects, it gets the data from Wikipedia. So you go to Gopherpedia.
Actually, as long as they offer an API service, you can implement
Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
But since at the moment it's still not used anymore, the companies doesn't have a big interest to implement also the Gopher interface.
Okay.
There's also a plugin for WordPress that turns the content of your WordPress into a Gopher page.
Okay.
Yeah.
That translate like automatically from.
Automatically creates pages from your WordPress installation and makes Gopher pages.
Okay.
Which don't have all the fanfare of the WordPress website, but yeah. So because it's so easy to program and it's so easy to but there's not much interest on it because there's no money basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Gopher, running. See, this is a Gopher page, by the way. Where are you? Here. Okay, this is a Gopher page. We're using
I think you have to switch because we are still.
I'm still on that. Why?
Still the presentation.
Why is this? Do I need to do anything? I'm trying to see the browser, but I creased this, but anyway.
You can see only the presentation.
Only the presentation.
If, for example, you are going to stop the presentation.
maybe I can try to quit.
Yeah, click the PowerPoint and then see if it works.
Okay, so this is a Gopher page. Right? Basically text and links. Perfect for an screen reader. Okay, they were by clean. There's a bit of SCR, which this will be a problem for the screen readers, the SCR that we talked about.
Yeah.
So you need to get something maybe like wrapped in a tag.
Yes, for curiosity, I was saying to Rafael that when he told me, because when I was surfing the page for the first time, I saw this kind of symbols, I could not understand. If you are in a braille display, you can see all these kind of symbols, and actually I was using it when I was, for example, in secondary school to do some simple representation of circuits, but when the image is quite complicated, it will not be usable anymore, since you are able to read one line at a time. So you have to rebuild the image by yourself in your head. It's not a two-dimensional representation, just one line at a time.
Select playback, go for document, go.
Okay.
FETH, page load error. FETH issue row 1 column 2. Oh, Magnus document, go for document, go for add-ons manager. Running application, notification, chevron, notification, Steve, FETA, install pending updates, install pending updates, configuration profiles.
I'm going to see
Tools. Go for document, go for // go for .fusion.com/1/overlay C monkey, go for document, go for // go for .fusion.com Fusion systems go for table with 60 rows and 2 columns, row 1 column 2 Fusion systems go for visited link, go for measure, go for document, go for // go for .fusion.com/1/ go for // go for .fusion.com/1/ table with 100 rows and 2 columns, row 1 column 2 welcome to Fusion systems official go for server row 2 column 1 column 2 Fusion reserves the go for communities explain setting go for Fusion.com go for .fusion.com and IBM Power 520 express limits to way. Row 3 column 1.
Can I?
Yes.
I will try to. Let's see if it's to show.
You are on a Gopher page.
Arrows? Yes,
Arrows,
yeah.
this is the left, this is the center.
Okay.
Go one column 2, welcome to column 1. Go for // go for .fusion.com/1/.
Okay.
100 rows and 2 columns, row 1 column 1.
Where's that one coming from?
Column 2, welcome to Fusion systems official go for server. Row 2 column 1.
Ok, in pratica qua viene visualizzata, in realtà nella mia configurazione lo vedevo semplicemente come una lista di oggetti, qua adesso non so se dipende dalla configurazione, però me lo fa vedere come una griglia, comunque sia
Column 2 Fusion reserved to go for community since 1995.
Let's try to go to
Let's
Gopher
go-
again.
sorry?
Let's try to go to Gopher.
Ok,
Go for // go for .fusion.com/navigation. Location go for // go for .fusion.com/r selection D E D I A dot C O M. Go for document. Go for // go for .fusion.com/1/document. 1 toolbar apply blank go space Y space.
no, there is some kind of configuration issue, Rafa, I think, yeah.
Go for document. Go for // go for media document 1 8.
No, No.
In any case,
Yeah.
one already is
Because we tried to do some kind of test, but we didn't have enough time to do it in
and all the software is in that computer.
Exactly. But anyway, just to give an idea, all the contents are showed something like an easy list to serve, like a folder browser. And so you just select elements and folders and you pick up the content that you would like to read. So very easy, as Rafael said. In conclusion, I would like to say, okay, this is an experimental project that we are trying to follow. Nothing is, defined already, but it's like a starting point to provide contents, for example, in the context that we said before, in academic and scientific and news, all things that needs only text contents information.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.